Today's video is about how much does it take to open a non-medical home care agency. Hello everyone, this is Michelle Williams coming to you live from the ATL. What's up? So guys, so many of you are asking this question. I actually have a video that I discussed this topic in the past. However, I feel like there's time to talk about it again, guys, because there's so many variables. There's so many variables, I promise you. So I'm gonna just go over the major things I want you to think about, because the answer is different depending on where you are, as far as where you are in the country or in the world, and what your specific needs are, right? Everyone is different. So we're gonna dive into that today. So for those of you that are chiming in for the first time, welcome. I appreciate you. And those of you that are returning, thank you very much. So make sure you guys subscribe, like, so you can be notified every time I drop a video and some nuggets. So guys, the first thing you need to think about, and this is just talking from a financial perspective, right? So I'm not going into deep dive into the industry itself. So this is just to give you an idea on what you need to start your business. So one, you have to set up your business with your local municipality, meaning your business license with the Secretary of State to set up your entity. So you have to establish the business first and foremost, right? And then you need to get the proper insurance. So I recommend having general liability, professional liability, workman's comp, a theft or security bond. And then of course there's different insurances or types of like riders, if you will, that you can have under those insurances that I just mentioned. Example, automobile coverage if your caregiver is driving clients around. I personally had coverage for sexual assault. So you could talk to your insurance professional in regards to that. If you need an insurance broker to give you a quote, jot down in the comments below insurance, and I will share with you the person that I use, and then you can get a quote from them, do your own, due diligence, compare pricing, and make a decision on which insurance company would be best for you. So in addition to that, you need licensing, right? So you want to make sure if you're in a regulated state, you have the proper licensing to run a home care business. So for instance, if you're in Georgia, it's through the Georgia Department of Community Health. So you have to make sure you go through that process. Now, in some states, there are some prerequisites. So I encourage all of you to go to the state's website that regulates your licensing type. When you go there, it's going to tell you all of the prerequisites, right? So when I say additional fees, you may have to pay for fingerprinting. You may have to go through specific type of training courses. So it just depends on where you are in the world and what your specific state regulates, okay? So this segment here, this part of the segment, if you are in a non-regulated state, of course, you don't have to worry about licensing through your state as far as regulations, right? And then if you're thinking about what type of regulations and licensing I'm talking about, that's another video. I do have one here on YouTube, but it just simply means you're in a non-regulated state like, Mississippi, Alabama, Arizona, Michigan, right? So you're in a specific state does not regulate home care services. Now, side note, guys, I'm not talking about Medicaid, because if you're in a non-regulated state or regulated, you still have to go through the Medicaid waiver process if you want to become a waiver provider. Just a little side note, right? And then you want to make sure you take into consideration your office. Are you going to work from home? Are you going to have an office outside of your home? And if so, what does that look like? This is one of the reasons why it's so hard, guys, to tell you exactly how much money you need. Because if you're in a non-regulated state, then you don't have that expense of $1,000 or like in California, over $5,000 just for the application process. So you can see the numbers vary significantly just from that. 5,000 plus for a licensing application in California, zero in those non-regulated states. So some states $100. So it really varies significantly. And in addition to the licensing part, you want to make sure that you have your marketing collateral funds set aside. So meaning, your website, your business cards, your brochures, your folders, all of those things that would fall under marketing collateral, right? And then you also want to consider office supplies, office equipment, right? It's very important. So again, you may have a MacBook. Somebody else may have, a generic off-brand laptop. Somebody may have a desktop. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so different, guys. You have to really take into consideration what your needs are in addition to what the state requires, right? Another example, some states require you to pay orientation, right? So if you're taking someone employee through orientation, you need to pay. Some states you're able to add that into the onboarding process where you're not paying for it because you haven't actually had them complete an I-9 and hired them. You know what I mean? So it varies. So of course I probably said varies significantly, guys, because it depends on where you are. So this is just to give you some things to think about. Lastly, I would say payroll. A lot of people freak out about this section of starting a business. Payroll. How much do I pay? How much money do I have to have? Again, it depends. On the internet, and you may hear some others say you need to have $60,000 in payroll. You need to have $50,000 in payroll funds. That's not true, guys. It really depends. If you're focusing on private pay, clients are going to pay you. You're able to leverage those funds to pay your caregivers. Now, if you're focusing on Medicaid, you're focusing on long-term insurance, workman's comp, different type of insurances, third-party payers, then guess what? You do need to have money set aside to pay your caregivers because it's going to take them, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, and depending on the provider, it may take even longer. So you have to have funds if you are going to search for building those relationships with third-party payers. So that's why it's so difficult, guys, for me to tell you. And I'm never going to tell you anything wrong and say, oh, yeah, you need $100,000. That's not true. Oh, yeah, you need $50,000. It's not true. And for those of you that are in Florida and you're going for the non-skilled home health agency license, a lot of people are giving misinformation on that as well. And I think they're just taking one person's scenario and running with it. It very
What?
What's up, guys? This is your coach. The phone rung. I had to jump back in real quick and say, see you later. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you found value, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you can be notified each and every time I drop some gems. If you have not gotten your ticket for conference, guys, what are you waiting for? Get your ticket for the Home Care Empowerment Conference. Ain't no conference like the Coach Michele Conference. And if you need assistance with starting and growing your business, check me out at myhomecarecoach.com. Take care. God bless.